Here we go. Hey guys, Coach Sarge here along with my buddy Coach Matt. We're body transformation experts at Fit Body Boot Camp in Exton. Here is our FBBC Nutrition 101 video. The reason why we're putting this video together is obviously you guys know that nutrition is 80% of the battle here. So the workouts are 20%. How you look will be determined by 20% of what you do, 80% of what you eat. All right, so we know that nutrition is obviously very, very important. You guys are already aware of that as well. However, we've been talking a lot recently about different methods and different things that we can do in order to come up with the right combination that works for you. All right, so I wanted to put my thoughts on paper essentially, and give you guys a easy to follow guide for success. It doesn't matter if you hate meal prepping, it doesn't matter if you have a crazy job, it doesn't matter if you have kids. All right, this can be done by anybody, all right, and it is simple and easy to follow. And if you guys still don't follow it, at that point, you guys are literally just choosing to not be healthy. It's that easy to do. So I want to go over it step by step and explain to you guys, again, how simple and how bulletproof this process can be, right, to unlock the fat-burning secrets within your body, right, and really see long-term success without focusing on macro counting, without focusing on calorie counting, no measuring, right? It is literally super, super easy to follow, and again, can be done by anybody. So we're going to go into it right away. Step number one is cut the BS. So first thing is first, all right? Step number one in this entire process is you have to cut the BS and be honest with yourself, all right? Nutrition is the most powerful drug in the world. You have to understand that, all right? A lot of personal trainers, a lot of people say that, you know, the way that you eat fuels your body, right? And while that's kind of true, right, what I believe in is that the nutrition that you put in your body, the food that you put in your body is a set of instructions that you're giving yourself, all right? So if you're consistently eating foods that you shouldn't have and you're not planning it and you're not structured about it, you're not doing what you should be doing, you're consistently giving yourself a set of really poor instructions to follow. So again, nutrition is the most powerful drug in the world. If you do this the right way, guys, you are going to start to see changes like that, all right? But you gotta cut the BS. You gotta believe in yourself that you can do it, and you have to want to do it, right? You can't make excuses, guys. You can't blame your kids. You can't blame your job. You can't blame circumstances for why it's so hard for you to meal prep and eat the right way, all right? You have to take it 100% seriously, guys, because again, how you look is determined by 20% of what you do, but 80% of how you eat and the level of commitment that you make to nutrition. Most of the world, guys, has no idea where their next meal is coming from, all right? So for you to say that it's too hard for you to meal prep, it's too hard for you to choose the right foods, doesn't make any sense to me, guys. You have to take this seriously, and if you want long-term, real success, right, you have to be able to take your nutrition seriously. So step number one in this entire process, guys, is you have to be able to look at yourself in the mirror and be honest with where you are. Look at yourself in a critical way, which I know is tough, but you have to be able to do that and really make the effort. You have to want to make the change, all right? And that, again, guys, is step number one in this process. Step number two is knowing when and what. With our nutrition policy, we have two types of meals. We have an anytime meal, and then we have a post-workout meal, all right? Now, one of the things that we talk about all the time here is that carbs are not the enemy, right? You have to just be smart about when and where and how you eat them and how much you eat them, okay? So going back to the beginning, we're gonna go over anytime meals first, all right? So this is breakfast, this is snack, this is dinner, this is literally any time that you eat, right? You have to follow this format, okay? So for women, right, 1 palm-sized portion of lean, low-fat proteins. That's chicken, that's lean cuts of beef, that's fish, that's eggs. Any type of lean, low-fat protein a palm size, right? Thickness of palm and diameter of palm. Guys get a little lucky. You can have a little bit more. You can have 2 palms, all right? Now, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, but in an anytime meal, right, you have to have 2 fistfuls of veggies. Really, you can get away with 1 to 2. I would prescribe 2, all right, because again, the more you eat, the more your body has to metabolize. So 2 fistfuls of veggies, all right, and then to make the meal balanced, you have to have your healthy fats as well. So for women, 1 thumb portion, right? So maybe 6 or 7 almonds, a slice of an avocado, olive oil, coconut oil, those types of things. Guys, again, you can have a little bit more, all right, and have 2 thumbs, all right? But that is an anytime meal, okay? So there's a lot of confusion. A lot of people always ask me about snacks and what I can have, and can I have a protein shake? Can I have this? Can I have that? Right? The answer is, again, you guys already know what you need to be eating. I'm going to also attach to this video some documents, right? Give you a list of foods to choose from. But again, you guys already know what to be eating. The biggest mistake that people make is they give their body a set of instructions that doesn't promote hormonal balance in the body, right? So if you just have protein, that's going to tell your body to do something else besides just burning fat, right? If you have just carbs, if you have just fats, right, you're going to be giving your body different signals that create hormonal imbalances, right? So one of the things that we know works is nutritional balance, okay? So whether it's breakfast, whether it's a snack, whether it's dinner, any time you eat, you have to have your palm's portion of proteins, your veggies, and your healthy fats every single time, even if it's a snack. Again, I know there's a lot of confusion with snacks, right? So every single time you eat, you have to have all 3 portions or all 3 phases of the plan, right, to create the hormonal balance and the nutritional balance within your body, all right? Now, when it comes to our post-workout meals, right, this is very, very important, right? I do allow and I do want you guys to actually eat some carbs. I don't want you to think you can never have carbs again, because what carbs do for the body is it does help promote a little bit more muscle building as opposed to just having your proteins post-workout. But again, that little snippet right there is very, very important. Post-workout, right? So if you're having carbs for breakfast, if you're having carbs for dinner, or if you're having carbs for your snacks throughout the day, more likely than not, your body doesn't need the excess carbs, which get converted into sugar, right? And it's going to be stored as fat in the body, all right? So we have to make sure that when we do consume our carbs, we are having them strictly post-workout only. So if you work out 3 times a week, you get 3 post-workout meals per week where you can add a little bit more starchy carbs, like your brown rice, like your sweet potato, like your quinoa, those types of things. If you work out 4 or 5 times a week, you get 4 or 5 post-workout meals per week. Every other time you eat, that is where you limit the starchy carbs and stick with your veggies and your fruits to create the balance of nutrition. But again, post-workout is when you can actually add some of those starchier carbs in, because that is what promotes the muscle building. Your body has the ability to utilize those carbs at that point because of the intense workout that you just did. So again, when you're coming in here to Fit Body and you're crushing a 30-minute workout where your body is left on the floor and you can't even use your arms anymore, right? Going home within 30 to 90 minutes and having a nice balanced meal with some carbs, with your proteins and your veggies, that is going to really promote a lot of recovery and muscle building, which is very, very important. But again, you can only have that post-workout. So for instance, if you have a really hectic week and you can only make it to 1 or 2 workouts, you only get 1 or 2 post-workout meals. So every time you work out, that is when it's okay.
So the great thing about the post-workout meal, we're going to keep the same portions of protein and veggies as the anytime meal. So for protein, for women, we're going to have the palm size. For men, we're going to have 2. And the veggies, we're going to have 2 fistfuls. But for the post-workout meal, we're going to cut the fats out and we're going to add the carbs.
We wanted to write this out so you guys can have a little bit of a visual thing of what we're talking about here. And again, I'm going to post and add some documents with some visuals as well, which are really, really simple to follow. But again, we have the anytime meals over here. So every single time you eat, you have a palm-sized portion of protein. Men, you have 2. Veggies, we have 1 to 2 fistfuls of veggies, and then we have 1 to 2 thumbs of healthy fats. That's almonds, avocados, coconut oil, olive oil, those types of things. And then post-workout, everything stays the exact same. So we have the 1 to 2 palms of protein, we have the 1 to 2 fistfuls of veggies, but then the difference is this is when it is okay to add your carbs in, right? Now, one of the things I tell everybody here is if you feel like you're doing great without any carbs and that's helping you, totally fine. You don't have to worry about this post-workout meal. But for some people that are trying to build some strength, trying to build some more muscle, right, adding a little bit of carbs post-workout is going to be a great way to help with that recovery process more so than just having your proteins. All right, but again, guys, this is the only 2 types of meals, so it's very, very simple to follow. There's no calorie counting. There's no macro counting. You literally base everything off of your eyes and your hands, right? So it is super, super simple to follow, and that is the basic structure. Now, this is a great way to get started. This is something that will work for 95 to 98% of everybody. Now, if you're a little bit more advanced already, again, this is a great foundation, but we can play a little bit more with the carbs and the fats and the stuff and other things like that. So there's ways to tweak this to really make it yours and really help you get to your goals. But again, if you're just starting out, if you haven't been eating healthy, this is a very, very simple method to really get the ball rolling here and start to create some long-term healthy habits that you can maintain and sustain, again, without overwhelming yourself by tracking calories, tracking macros, measuring your food, all those types of things, right? So again, guys, this is super, super simple, and every single person here can do this.
Sweat. It's on here.
All right, guys, I hope that makes sense. All right, again, that is a really simple, easy to follow structure. All right, and again, if you can focus on doing that 4 to 5 times per day without skipping breakfast, eating every 2 to 3 hours, that is going to be a great way to see an incredible amount of change and really get started in this process. All right, now, one of the things that we're going to talk about next is the importance of not limiting your diet too much. So I do want you to really focus on this structure with the 90-10 rule. All right, so if you can eat this way 90% of the time and 10% of the time, you're kind of going off the rails a little bit just to keep your sanity. Again, that is still a great way and more than enough to see a lot of real change. All right, so if you eat 4 to 5 times per day, right, times 7 days a week, that's going to get you roughly in that 35 meal range for the week, what's very normal for a lot of people, right? That's going to allow you to have 3 to 4 cheat meals every single week. So again, I don't want you to feel like you can never have those unhealthy things, and you can never have sugar, you can never have bad carbs, you can never have a piece of cake, right? You certainly can, but what we need to do is be very smart about when and where, all right? Again, you have to remember that nutrition, food, the things that you're putting in your body is the most powerful drug in the world, all right? So if you allow those cheat meals to creep in, instead of that 2 to 3 to 4, you start having 5 and 6 and 7, right? Again, you're going to start to fall back off that 90-10 rule, and it's going to be more like 80-20 or 70-30, and hopefully, God forbid, not 50-50. But we want to be very, very specific about it and smart about the cheat meals so we can capitalize on exactly what it is. So the next step we're going to go into talk about the structure of the cheat meal. Rule number 1 when it comes to cheat meals is always add that 1 to 2 palms of protein into your cheat meal.
All right, guys, so our cheat meal is probably going to be very carb heavy, okay? And what we know about carbs is carbs are going to spike those blood sugar and insulin levels. So to reduce the glycemic impact of our cheat meal, we're going to add some protein in there to help keep our blood sugar and insulin levels in that fat burning zone. And another good reason to add protein to our cheat meal, guys, is that it will help you stay satiated, keep you fuller for longer, and help you not overindulge on those bad carbs. Rule number 2 is planning your cheats.
There's a couple different reasons why we want to plan our cheat meals. All right, first and foremost, your cheat meal should be a psychological boost, right? It should give you something to look forward to throughout the week to kind of keep you going, all right? Knowing that every time you do eat a healthy meal, that obviously it's helping you get results and see your body change in the way that we want it to change, but it also gets you one step closer to that thing that you can't wait to have on Friday night or Saturday, whatever your cheat meal is. But it gives you that little bit of again, psychological boost to keep pushing forward because you have something to look forward to. The second reason why we want to plan our cheats is so we can take full advantage of the nutrients in the cheat meal. All right, now like Coach Sarge said, your cheat meal is most likely going to be heavy in carbs, all right, which do help and aid in the recovery process. So yes, the cheat meal should be something that we look forward to and it's something that we really enjoy to eat, right? But there's still nutrients in there that we can take advantage of. So the best way to maximize your cheat meal is to plan your cheat meal around a high intensity workout, right? A workout where you're just leaving your soul on the floor, you're getting a great burn, a lot of resistance training, you're taxing your muscles, and you're depleting your glycogen stores, right? That way, when you do have your cheat meal within 30 to 90 minutes of post-exercise, your body is ready to absorb and utilize those carbs in a good way to, again, start to help that recovery process and start to rebuild the tissues that you're tearing down. All right, so it's very, very important to make sure you're not just having your cheat meal in like the middle of the week on a random night because you just can't take it anymore. Because again, when you do that more often than not, that will start to set you back a little bit. All right, so again, cheat meals are okay. We do need them. They're great for psychological boosts and keeping us going and feeling like we're not missing out on life, but we still have to be really smart about them and utilize them in the proper way. Again, so planning them around the workout is very, very important so your body is ready to adapt and utilize those nutrients. Was this rule number 3?
Yep.
Number 3. All right, everybody. Rule number 3 for cheat meals is don't drink alcohol with your cheat meal. This one is really, really easy, right? We should already be limiting our alcohol regardless, right? One of the things that I talk a lot about is, yes, again, I don't want you to think you can never have alcohol, but if you're somebody who has alcohol every day, every night, or multiple times per week, you know, you are really hurting your ability to burn body fat, because what we're doing through healthy eating and exercise is we're training our body to access our fat stores and release that stored fat, right? When you drink alcohol, even if it's not like a super heavy, thick beer and it's like vodka, whiskey, any type of literal alcohol that you go or you put in your body recognizes now that there is a toxin in your body, right? And whatever fat burning mechanism you turn on throughout the day and throughout the week, you completely turn off when you have any alcohol. So again, for this nutrition plan in general, we should already be limiting alcohol, but just because this is your cheat meal, don't think that's an okay to just start drinking heavily with the cheat meal, because again, when it comes to planning your meals and cheat meals especially, we want to still utilize it. We want it to work for us, not against us. So again, if you drink with your cheat meal, you're going to be taking a big step back instead of utilizing those nutrients as best possible to help push us forward and recover our body. And the other thing with alcohol too is every time you drink, you know, that limits your ability to burn fat for a few days after you drink as well. So it's not like one drink and then you stop burning fat for like a couple hours. You know that it stops your ability to burn fat until all of the alcohol is completely out of your system, which takes time. Rule number 4 in our cheat meal guide here is drink lemon water with your cheat meal.
Number 1 reason we want to add lemon water to our cheat meals is for the digestion process. It'll help us digest that food properly and really help us absorb that good stuff out of the cheat meal and aid in our muscle recovery.
Coach Sarge is exactly right, guys. Digestion is key, right? If you are not digesting and absorbing the nutrients that we're putting in our body anyway, eating food is pretty much useless, right? So again, we want to really aid that digestive process. So adding lemon water is very important because it helps, right, get the body prepared to take out the good of the cheat meal. And again, we want to make the cheat meal something that works for us, not against us. All right, so you can add the lemon water to help aid in the digestive and absorbing process and really help with the recovery, like Coach Sarge said. Another thing that or another reason I should say why adding lemon water or any type of water really to the meal is, again, it will help you with portion control. Just because this is a cheat meal doesn't necessarily mean that you need to go completely off the rails and have a whole pizza or just out of control portion sizes. So by adding the protein, adding the lemon water helps you with the process here, so you can utilize the cheat meal in the correct way.
Rule number 5, guys, is enjoy the cheat meal.
Yes, guys, we want to enjoy the cheat meal. Again, one of the things that we talked about right from the start is that the cheat meal is a psychological boost and a great way to keep your mind right and on the right track. Again, it gives you something to look forward to. It allows you to kind of push through the mundaneness sometimes of eating healthy and living this lifestyle. So you want to enjoy it. You want to take a good 30 to 45 minutes, sit down and really, again, enjoy the meal and not feel guilty about it, guys. If you're coming in the next day and you're telling me that you just had your cheat meal and you feel completely guilty about it, or you feel crappy about it, you guys aren't getting the point of the cheat meal. Again, it's supposed to be a relaxing thing. It's supposed to be a break from eating healthy and living the healthy lifestyle to keep your sanity and keep you going. So don't feel guilty about it. Enjoy it. But remember that getting back on track is very, very important, right? We can't allow your cheat meal to be, 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 times per week. We have to stay strict with, okay, this is my cheat meal. I need this to keep my sanity. I know I'm gonna have something right now that I probably shouldn't have. So in order to balance it back out and keep moving forward, tomorrow I'm going right back to my anytime meals and my post-workout meals, right? So being very strict and disciplined about that is very, very important. That is it. All right, you guys have been asking a lot of great questions in our family page about nutrition and about, different ways and different methods and stuff. But again, what I want you guys to remember is the more complicated that you make something, the more complicated that it becomes, all right? So the simpler, the better. And what I know about this process is that it absolutely works. And again, it is incredibly simple, can be followed by anybody. It doesn't matter if you're horrible at meal prepping, it doesn't matter if you're a great cook, you like to cook, whatever your story is, guys, this process can work for absolutely anybody because it's simple, it's easy to do, it's easy to follow, and you can maintain this for a lifetime, all right? And that's really what it takes in order to see true change, is really making a shift in your lifestyle and your nutrition, not just following a diet plan. So what I'm gonna do now, guys, is I'm gonna give you all of the information that we just went over in a PDF file format. All right, I created a Google Drive document where we have the cheat meal rules, we have the PDF that goes over portion control as far as palms and thumbs and fists, and it also goes over the post-workout versus the anytime meal, right? So I want to get all of that information to you guys so you can have it and download it and use it, all right, and let that be your guide to your ultimate success. One other really cool thing that I added to the Google Drive is a document called The Cost of Getting Lean, right? So it kind of goes over different body types and different body compositions, and then explains a little bit of how those people typically live their lives and what sacrifices necessarily have to be made in order to see progression. So you can kind of eyeball where you are and see if those are some things that you need to work on. And again, we can kind of talk about it and go over that together. And then the final thing that I want to get to you guys is a really, really great resource. So this way of eating, this style of nutrition is something that I've been working on through Precision Nutrition. And they have an amazing cookbook called Gourmet Nutrition. Now, in that cookbook, there is over 300 different recipes, I think. And what's really great about the meals is they obviously have the breakdown of the carbs, fats, and proteins and the portion sizes and all that stuff. But this cookbook, I mean, I'm telling you what, guys, it is so simple and so easy to follow. In the corner of every page or every recipe, it has a little PW for post-workout, and it has a little AT for any time, right? So there's no guesswork. There's no like, well, is this a post-workout meal? Is this an anytime meal? It literally tells you how much you're gonna get out of each meal by using these ingredients, and if it's a post-workout meal or if it's an anytime meal, guys. So I think the book online is about 29 or 30 bucks on Amazon or something like that. So again, I think it's going to be a great resource for a lot of you guys, and I want to attach that as well. Now, just like normal, guys, I know we just went over a lot of information. So if you have any specific questions, please message me on Facebook, ask me in our family page. When you come in here to boot camp, obviously you can ask me and Coach Sarge, and we'll go over some of the things with you. I also want you guys to be hitting up your accountability meetings. So if that's something that we need to do and go over, that's fine. But I want you guys to start this process ASAP. You can start it tonight. It is so simple, guys, and it will work for you. You saw Coach Sarge's results over the past 30 days. You know, we've heard about a lot of other people's success over the past couple of weeks and months here. You know, guys, again, the process works. If you feel like you're kind of hitting a little bit of a wall, there's a reason for that. It's not because the program doesn't work. It's because you're doing something that you know you shouldn't be doing, and it's time, again, to look at yourself in the mirror, cut the BS, and really make the effort to move forward and not make excuses about why it's so hard for you. Because again, guys, it's hard for all of us, right? We all have kids, we all have jobs, we all have this, we all have that, right? But again, what I'm here to tell you is that my body hasn't stopped changing since the start of my own journey. I know Coach Sarge, again, he just started, his body's changing, and every single person that does this program, I mean, it works, guys. So again, if you're not following those simple guidelines that we just outlined for you, you know, you're choosing your own destiny, essentially. So it's up to you guys. Live your lifestyle in an extraordinary way, and let's get better.